Hello everybody. This is a video request dedicated to Anne. Congratulations. I regularly get asked about the rainbow children and what are the characteristics. This is the third wave. We have the first wave, which were the indigos, the second wave, which was the crystals, bit of Blu-ray in there as well, and the third waves, the rainbow children. So, of course, they're called the rainbow children because they have these incredible multicolored auras. And it looks like a rainbow above the top of their head, especially, okay? The rainbow children have been incarnating since 2000, roughly. Don't get too attached to the dates. I'm sure lots of you are going to put in the comments below, well, I was born before then or after then, and I consider myself a rainbow. You don't need anybody's permission to confirm if you're a rainbow, because out of all the starseed empathic blueprints of souls coming through, the rainbows are most likely to be the most confident, right? They're coming in without the karmic programs that you and I came in with. So true rainbows do not require any confirmation. But this video is more directed at those of you who know a rainbow child or are the parent to be of a rainbow child, which at this time in 2024, many of you are expecting a rainbow child. Many of you are beautifully growing this soul in your belly right now. So I'm hoping that this video can be helpful to those of you in that situation. Of course, in the future, when this is a really, really old video, you might be a rainbow who stumbles across this video, and it helps you to recognize and have awareness of your blueprint so you can understand yourself better. And that's my only purpose with doing these videos. It's just to help people to have that inner understanding and awareness, and to help you to navigate your life in a better, more empowered way. I'm all about empowerment. So take what resonates, discard the rest. So, of course, there's the auric rainbow aura, which is very expansive. They're usually very calm, they're confident, they're lively, they're bubbly. They love people, they love life. They have quite a sunny, calm disposition. They are often very brave, quite courageous. They don't come in with the same fears or insecurities as previous souls who incarnate. They're very, very intuitive. They're very psychic. They often have the gift of being very clairvoyant, so they see things very clearly. That rainbow aura is about strength and clarity. So they're good at seeing other people's stuff. They're good at seeing other people's soul paths, and they often take up careers, jobs, soul roles in their life as artists and creative types, psychics, tarot readers, helpers, caregivers. The beauty about the rainbow children is they don't have that sense of duty or obligation to complete karma like the rest of us have who've come before. So as we go further into the 5D, we are abolishing or leaving behind those karmic beliefs and triggers and karmic obligations. We're leaving those notions and templates behind. The rainbow children are coming at this time and have been coming, like I said, from around 2000 to help in this transition from the 3D template, the paradigm, into the 5D, the fifth dimensional paradigm. They understand that choosing this time to come in helps them to help us to neutralize and dissolve the negativity, the fear-based definitions about life. Okay, just have some notes here. So interestingly enough, the angels were saying to me, it's usually the rainbow child's first incarnation. I found this really interesting. So even though they'll still take on fractals of their oversoul's soul energy, it's usually the first time they express as a soul. And I mean that by they put their hands up and said, in the non-physical, I'll go down and I'll bring my rainbow frequency and I'll be of service to humanity. I'll be of service to the collective at this time. So they don't have that past life baggage, which is probably why they're quite fearless, probably why they have a lot of courage and they're much calmer than previous incarnations, and also explains why they don't have any karma to complete. So what do I have here? Bring a rainbow frequency of light, wherever they go. So when they walk into a space, they're like a breath of fresh air, very much like crystals. In fact, rainbow children are often born from a crystal mother or crystal parents. Okay, so if you and your partner are a crystal and you decide to have a baby, more than likely that will be the avenue that this rainbow child will choose to come through. And the reason for that is you have an understanding. You get it. You know what it's like to come here as a high sensitive, and you also are aware of the delicate nature of being a high sensitive, of being an empath, and so you're well able to support them and parent them in a loving, assistive way. You're able to assist them in their integration into the human experience. That's not to say you have to be a crystal to have a rainbow child. Many of you I know who've worked with me, I see it as well in my family and friends. Rainbows will choose who they are born to, as all souls choose. We all chose our parents. Yes, I know, it's sometimes hard to believe for some people, but it's very, very true. We all chose the family systems that we came into. And it's no different with the rainbow. It's just that they're more prone to come through a crystal parent or both crystal parents, because it's the next evolution of that high frequency soul. It makes sense, right? So they love life, they love people, they can be quite extrovert, but they have this lovely balance of also enjoying being introvert and being on their own. They love painting, drawing, writing, scrying, divining. They have that beautiful balance of yin yang, of masculine and feminine qualities. So they have that wholeness, where crystals will often have lean towards a more feminine yin, more introvert on the spectrum type of energy. The rainbows have a lovely balance, a lovely healthy balance there, and neither is right or wrong. Everybody's soul is unique and will express itself differently. I'm sure there are some rainbow children that are much quieter and maybe don't display as extrovert qualities, but the majority, this is a general, okay? I mean, if I was tuning into your child, that's different, but this is a general overview of the characteristics of the rainbow children. A very interesting thing about rainbows is, Spirit said, they are often slow to meet their milestones. You know, this whole modern medicine has certain milestones that it can kind of measure children's development from. Well, the rainbow often has a tendency to take their time with that. They're in no rush. They're not following. The reason for that is they are not following the typical program when a soul incarnates and it starts to download the earth program, if you will. The rainbows are not privy to that. They're not interested in that. That's not why they're here. So they will often speak later than their counterparts, okay? They'll often decide to verbalize their expression at a later date, at a later time. There's nothing wrong with them. In fact, Einstein apparently didn't speak until he was around 6 years of age or something like that. I don't know the exact age, but he was slow to actually verbalize and to talk. And apparently when he was asked why this was, he said, I had no reason to speak until I spoke. So that's the kind of confident energy you're dealing with the rainbows. I will speak when I feel the need to speak, not when society tells me, not because mommy and daddy are like, come on, say a word, say mama, say dada. They can be quite stubborn in that way. They are not here to fulfill your expectations of them. They are very connected and very cognizant of their soul's mission here, their soul role. So no amount of enticing is going to influence them. In fact, they're not influenceable, which is wonderful. They're not supposed to be. Don't waste your time. Let them decide. They will dictate and they will decide what they learn when. For parents who are not aware they have a rainbow child, this can cause a lot of frustration. So I would advise, go and see a good healer. Go and see somebody who understands the energy of this significant frequency that your child is emanating, so that you can work with the flow of the rainbow child's vibration. So they love color, rainbow. I used to have a lot more rainbow stuff. This was the best. This is kind of what I call my unicorn jumper, but I threw this on just in honor of the rainbows, okay? So they often love colorful clothes. They often like their own style. They'll often paint their houses quite bright colors or rainbow-like, or colors that you wouldn't traditionally associate with painting of a wall in your house. Like they might paint their house a bright yellow, or they might, I know a lot of this is kind of future prediction stuff, because there's a lot of the rainbow children are very young, but you'll see when they come into their own, into adulthood, the way they style, decorate, dress, express it's unapologetic. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, angels. It's unapologetic. It's very much their own signature style, okay? They also have very colorful personalities. They can be seen as, to mainstream 3D world, as quite eccentric. That's just fine. They're not here to blend in. You put a rainbow against someone who has a very ordinary aura, the rainbow's going to stand out, right? You put a rainbow against this wall, this dove colored wall. The rainbow is it's going to stand out, and they might have to adjust and learn how to manage this as they move into adolescence, into adulthood. But like the rest of us, they'll be fine and they'll find their way. So they're naturally outgoing. They can be extrovert, but again, with that lovely balance of passive time where they like to be creative and color and relax and play music on their own in their room, or write, those kind of very artistic expressions. They are usually very, very sweet and kind children. They just have this charm about them that's so innocent and authentic. Again, quite similar to the blue rays, the earth angels, and the crystals. Because again, they are connected to that energy. They're part of the branches of that tree, okay? They can psychically challenge skills, talents, and trades, such as creative skills in art and crafts, healership, and mediumship. So they are natural healers, they are natural givers, they are very generous, they're very kind. They're the type of kid that will always share its sweets and want to have a connection with its friends and with its family. They're very affectionate, but again, on their own terms, not to please you. It's very genuine. They're very genuine. They're very honest. They have a spiritual and emotional maturity that most children their age will not have. They are like talking to, you've got this little kid, and it's like talking to a 100-year-old sage. It's like talking to a wise man or a wise woman, and they're like 3 years, 4 years of age. They have vivid memories of heaven, of the non-physical. They will often talk about you in heaven with them, or they'll remember being in your belly. They'll say, remember when I was in your belly and this happened or that happened. So be aware that while they're in utero, they're very cognizant, they're very aware. They are tuning in and really picking up things. They're also healing you and your body as well. If you're the woman who is pregnant with them, they're great at healing symptoms and issues. They're here to bring togetherness and balance to the world's transition from 3D to 5D. Even though a child, I said that, it's like talking to a very wise person. Yeah, so this is really interesting. They don't sleep as much as other kids their age. So even as newborns, they can be very alert when they're born. Usually when a child comes in, a baby comes in, they can be quite sleepy and chilled out and often have their eyes closed. Although you do see now with babies that are born in the 5D energy, they're much more alert than babies in the past. I'm sure you've noticed this. Babies in the past would be more sleepy and passive. The soul would take a while to land. The children being born now are more awake from an earlier time. But the rainbow child particularly does not need as much sleep as other children. They have a very direct connection to source, so they can rejuvenate quite quickly. Now, is there anything else I can say? I mean, they're on the multi-spectrum. They grow and learn at their own rate. They're not going to be forced to do something they don't want to do. They understand on a soul, emotional, spiritual level that they are not here to just be another regular member of society. They understand that their being here is enough. They understand that their energy, they're radiating this rainbow aura, is their power and is their purpose. By sitting in the presence of this space with you, that they are enough. And by looking into your eyes and sharing their cupcake, I don't know why I'm being shown this image, you know, Mama, have some of my cupcake. That there's healing happening, there's magic happening. Now, again, crystals can have this energy. Crystals only have to walk through a space and they leave a trail of light. The rainbows are similar in that way. But I feel like the rainbows don't have not near as level as amnesia that many of the previous volunteer souls or the waivers, the first waivers, the second waivers. It's like as we evolve in this 5D, there is less and less and less amnesia. And it's interesting because I just got a message there, bleep up on my phone, from my brother, and his daughter, my niece, is a rainbow child. And I knew that when she was growing in her mother's belly. And I was so excited because I hadn't met a rainbow child yet. And she is like, you forget you're talking to a child. She's now, what is she, 10, 11? And she's so wise. Today is actually my dad's anniversary. He's 11 years gone back to source today. So I'm having a wrap up blanket. It's actually a storm outside. It's lashing rain. And I've got a really bad pain in my stomach from a Crohn's flare. So I remember my brother telling me when he had to go back to Australia after my dad's funeral. And he was devastated. He was brokenhearted. And this little one comes along and she says, she hands him a yellow crayon. She loves yellow. And she said, Daddy, colour with me. And he had to snap out of that grief. He had to snap out of the past and be very present, as children are great at doing this. They're really, really good at bringing us into the present moment. And he said, what colour will we use? And she said, rainbow. So it's like the rainbow children recognize the rainbow as a frequency, as a color unto itself. So again, they're all about togetherness, diversity, inclusion. Let's all get together and hold hands and do ring a rosy. It's that kind of very sweet, angelic, pure, spiritual energy. They're highly spiritual children. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it and channeling on behalf of the Rainbow Souls. I feel like they're really picking up pace and numbers now. My stomach is giving out. And if you have a rainbow child, you're very blessed, as you are to have any child. All children are a blessing. Remember, these are not labels that I encourage that we stick on. Every child has a unique color, soul, blueprint that it brings. But this is just to help those of you who are connecting with rainbow children so that you can better support them and love them in their unique way, as they so deserve, as every single child deserves. So if you enjoy this video, please be kind. Give me a thumbs up. That lets me know that this content is of interest to you and actually educational, beneficial, supportive. And if I get good views and good thumbs ups for this video, I will, if I feel like it's relevant at this time, I can do more videos on the rainbows or other energies. I would love to do a video about how to parent and support or connect deeper in ways that maybe you're a Blu-ray, maybe you're an Earth Angel, maybe you're an Indigo, and you have a nephew or a niece or a child who's rainbow, how you can better do that. So for now, I will leave you. Thanks again for your support and for giving this a thumbs up and subscribing for more. Angel blessings.